What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another Cryptid Saturday. And in today's Cryptid Saturdays, we are going over the Cryptids of New Hampshire. So I actually found a couple of articles, one that has like a couple of things, and then one that goes into a deep dive on, I guess, somebody's experience with one of these creatures. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Are you guys from New Hampshire and you guys have heard these legends before? I'd really like to know that. And let's go ahead and get into some articles. Like I always like to say, though, guys, I don't own the rights to any of these articles. I just use them to pass along information. This particular article comes from onlyinyourstate.com as well as chowdaheads.com. I'm just realizing what that pun was, but anyway, please go over to those places, show them some love. First article is 7 urban legends in New Hampshire to keep you awake at night. New Hampshire is one of the oldest states, so it's not surprising that it's home to a good number of urban legends. From hauntings to mysterious and terrifying creatures, these urban legends are creepy in many different ways. Whether you're a believer in supernatural or a hardcore skeptic, you'll find yourself taking another look over your shoulder when you hear a rustle in the woods after you read these tales. The Wood Devils. Go far enough north in New Hampshire, right up to the woods along the Canadian border, and you may just run into a wood devil. Imagine a slimmer, swifter Sasquatch, a quick, elusive, two-legged creature about 7 feet tall, covered in light gray fur. That was a quick description of that. I feel like that is either a person that's just been hiding out in the woods wearing like maybe animal furs or something to keep warm, or possibly maybe like some escaped monkeys or something. That isn't also another good one, but I don't think there's like a 7 foot tall swift Bigfoot chasing everyone, but you never know. This next one's a little bit more on the nose though, I think. The devil monkeys. Even scarier than the wood devils are the devil monkeys, primates with dog-like noses and fierce teeth that emit an unearthly howl. Sightings in the woods go back to the 1950s, and in 2001, a dozen people in Danesville saw the creature. As this image that I pulled up obviously shows, that's what I think the woods devil is. The devil monkey, though, was definitely the last image, and I think, honestly, what this is I think it was a troop of baboons that got loose and were like, because baboons will throw things at you, and they like growl and stuff at you. So I think it was actually back in the day a troop of baboons that maybe escaped or something, and everyone just started calling them these devil monkeys. And honestly, I doubt that any of them are still alive. I think these people that saw it more recently are just thinking of something else, or it's probably mistaken identity. But if it was, imagine like maybe there's a small subpopulation of baboons out there that got, it's just kind of like changed over time that after they escaped and just established a small population. Is that likely? No, I highly doubt it. Like you would probably know because baboons are like very up close and personal. But it also may not be baboons. They're just the thing that's popping into my head that it could be. But I don't know. Let me know down in the comments down below what you guys think. So that was it for that. There's only really 2 of them that I found. The next article though goes into a actual sighting of the wood devils. So since there was only 2, I felt like we could go ahead and just do like a deeper dive. And yeah, kind of explore maybe some of the myth and lore a little bit more. Get an actual eyewitness sighting before we make up our mind. This also says this article also says this is part 2, but I couldn't find part 1. So yeah, that was the thing. In part 2 of our New England's Myth and Legend series, we take you to the rural forest of Coos County, New Hampshire. Although the area is the largest county in the state, it is also the northernmost block and is almost entirely remote. Reports of tall, skinny, gray-haired animals date all the way back to the 19th century, but spiked in the 1970s, leading conspiracy theorists to believe they had found Bigfoot. Sightings of these fast-moving, vaguely humanoid Sasquatches have been made along the Appalachian Trail in parts of Vermont and along the Canadian border. But Coos County remains the primary hotbed of wood devil activity, especially the White Mountains. According to witnesses, you can almost walk directly into a wood devil before you even know it's there. Their gray color and slender build allows them to hide in plain sight by standing against a tree trunk. Once spotted, they emit awful, heart-wrenching screams. An amateur photographer and northern New Hampshire resident identified only as Will shared the following anecdote with phantoms and moths. I enjoy photographing the outdoors and try to get out at least once during each season. It was the fall of the year, and I had seen several moose along the Pentuck Reservoir and the Androscoggin River, so I decided to try and get a few photographs. I parked off the Berlin Road and walked into the woods east of the dam. I walked about 1,000 feet or so. I was very dense and the light was low, so I decided to get closer to the lake so I could pick up some better light. As I turned north, I heard a cracking sound behind me. I turned to see what it was, but saw nothing. So I started to walk towards the area where the sound came from. I hadn't walked far when I saw something tall and thin dart from behind a sugar maple tree and quickly disappear. I stood for a minute, and again this thing came from behind a large maple tree, and then vanished again. I tried to get a photograph, but the darn thing was fast, and nothing ever showed up on the shot. It didn't show itself anymore that day. I went back to the location a couple more times, but never witnessed the thing again. There are a lot of legends my father would tell us and as kids, but I really never gave it much thought. Some of the people around here used to talk about wood devils in the White Mountains, but I've never heard about anyone seeing one or anything similar to what I saw. The thing was about 7 foot tall, dark thick fur or hair, and thin, much thinner than a normal man. At that height, like I said, it was very fast and nimble. I never heard a sound other than the footsteps it made when moving. Sightings are far less common today than they were from the 1930s to the 1970s, but occasional footprints is still spotted from time to time. Stop by next week to learn about Bristol witches. They may be less famous than their Salem sisters, but they're just as brutal. If I'm being honest with you, still kind of giving me credence to think it could have been a monkey. This is the way he sounds, and like monkeys will, like the way they describe them. Monkeys can freeze, and a lot of them are just that color. In this particular story, though, I think the guy was being stalked by either a human, a Bigfoot, or since it seems like it was snowing, it could have been like a Wendigo. And Wendigos are a whole other thing, and we'll probably eventually do a deep dive into them whenever I'm done doing the states. Uh, and I think I have covered Wendigos on a couple of other things, but like I think on this particular one, the guy was being stalked by a human, and he just didn't see the guy. So yeah, that's my thoughts. But hey, let me know what you guys think down below. Have you guys ever seen either of these cryptids? Do you guys live in New England and have know of these and have heard the stories? And if so, please let me know. And yeah, all that being said, though, guys, please remember, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you never miss another Cryptid Saturday, as well as drop comments down below. And I will see you guys in the next video.